Hello YouTube, this is Bangalore Productions, and today I'm going to be doing a little bit different style of a video than what I made last time. As you can tell from the setup, this is my gym. It's just in my apartment, it's where I work out. I do go to another gym, but this is my main base of operations for a gym. So just going to go ahead, take all the kit off. And then in today's video, I'm going to be going over some things that are very important to me. That being physical fitness. Why you need to be physically fit, and in my opinion, or not necessarily my opinion, but what being physically fit can do for you in the realm of LARPing, preparedness, and being prepared for anything, any situation to come. So I'll preface this with your physical fitness is extremely important. And I don't mean the fucking, oh, I'm a bodybuilder, look at me, I'm doing 315 for reps on the bench press, 505 deadlifts. That doesn't matter. I once had an instructor a couple years ago that said, I would rather have a guy that can do 100 burpees without stopping than a dude that can do a 505-pound deadlift. Take that for what you will. To me, that speaks volumes of what is required of you and this kind of mindset and this kind of world we're putting ourselves into, and with what we enjoy doing and what we love. And if you want to be able to take care of who you love and the country that you love, you need to be physically fit. Or there's no better way to say this, or you're going to die. Or you're going to be a hindrance to the guys you're with, and you're going to get them killed. And then you're going to sit there and wonder and think to yourself, damn, maybe if I was just a little bit more capable, I would have been able to save my guys, or have been an asset and not a liability. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. Making yourself an asset and not a liability. In my own training, I'll say this, I've been training for 6 years now with general fitness style training has been taking up the bulk of the last 2.5 years of my training. When I first started, I started with sports in high school, playing football, lots of powerlifting, explosiveness, heavy weights, and that's the kind of style of training I did early on in my Marine Corps career. It does not transfer over to the infantry. It doesn't. No matter how hard you try, I tried so hard to make it be able to do that, and it doesn't. I was struggling on runs, on hikes, even though I was, as a part of my training, running and doing things. It's just having that much extra bulk on your body does not translate over to being an asset. And I was a liability. But on my first deployment, I changed that. Changed up my routine completely. I got on YouTube, Kyle Bogman. His account name is K Bogs. Look him up. Got some amazing content. He is he has his master's in exercise science, I believe. I could be wrong. I know that he is extremely smart when it comes to the world of general fitness and health. My main modality of working out is bodyweight calisthenics. A lot of people think of those in general, bodyweight calisthenics as more of a beginner style of training. They believe that it's gym class type exercises. It's not. And believe it or not, the bulk of your workouts that you'll do in the military, whether it be boot camp or once you get to the fleet for PTs, whatever it's going to do, you're going to be doing bodyweight calisthenics. Lots of pull-ups, lots of burpees, lots of bodyweight squats, lots of push-ups. And that also just depends on how good your squad leader is conducting your PTs. I myself was a squad leader for a while, and that's exactly what I had my guys do. Lots of bodyweight training. Not as much on the long distance runs because I didn't want to destroy their bodies. Put more emphasis on the short duration explosiveness and bodyweight calisthenics. We did a deployment in Norway, and my squad was the best. That's not just me saying that. I got an award for that. I got a NAM, Naval Achievement Medal, not just for the conduct from some ranges we did, but the overall capabilities of my squad. My platoon was the best in the company, I'd say the battalion, and my squad was the best in the platoon, no doubt about it. It was my leadership style, the way I led my Marines, and then also how capable I made them, and I made them assets And that's what we're gonna get into. Sorry for the long intro, whatever. Anyway, now this is crazy. And this goes against every belief you've ever heard about working out and anything you've ever done at this point. But this is what you gotta do. You're gonna work out 5 to 7 days a week. It's up to you. If you have the time to do 7, I say do 7. If you don't have that time, you wanna take a weekend off, or you wanna take a day in the week off because you have more important things that need to be done, then get that done. But I will say this, these workouts take no longer than 30 minutes if you do them correctly and you rest properly, adequately. You will, I will say in a month, no promises, because I don't like making promises to people, but within a month you'll notice significant changes in your body composition, the way you feel, and just your overall general fitness, because that's what we're focusing on here. Not being a huge bodybuilder, not being a strong power lifter, not being the best endurance runner of the planet. We want that, excuse me, that basic general fitness, and that's what's gonna take you leaps and bounds ahead of your peers and your buddies that you train with, and even people you work with, I don't know, whatever you do in your daily life. But anyway, let me get into it. So, workout plan. I don't follow a strict workout plan. I just kind of modeled most of my training, like I said, off of Kay Bogues and what he does, because I believe in his modality of training. I believe what he preaches because I've been doing it for 2.5 years now, and I'm not gonna take all my clothes off and show you, but it feels good to be shredded when you have no clothes on. I'll tell you that right there. It feels good to look good, because not only does it make you feel good, but with that low body fat percentage, that nice lean muscle mass, you're gonna be able to perform way better than you ever have before. So, workout plan. Now you don't need, you will need some method of being able to pull yourself up, whether that be a pull-up bar such as this, a door frame pull-up bar, a pair of rings you can put onto a tree, or even a tree branch itself. I'm sure most of you are into physical fitness already, so you have a gym membership or a way to train. But I will say the one thing that you do need, or two, is something to pull yourself up on and ground. So you can do push-ups, squats, lunges, stuff of that nature. And I will say, before I get into it, before you start thinking about adding weight to your training, like training with weighted vests, dip belts, all that kind of stuff, get really good at the basics first. Get extremely good to the point you're doing 3 sets of 12 to 15, and I'd even say more than that, of perfect form, exceptionally controlled reps. When you hit that point, then you can start adding weight. Once you get to, I see most advice out there, once you can do 3 sets of 8, 3 sets of 5 pull-ups, you need to start adding weight. No, because at that point, you haven't hit what your body can achieve on its own with your own body weight, because believe it or not, your own body weight is more than enough. Your muscles do not know if there's an external weight or if it's yourself. All they know is that they are being turned on and they are working. So as long as you have a decent amount of, I'm lost with the word, but as long as you are putting that force on your muscles, whether it be body weight, weights, and I'm not saying you have to do body weight training, I'm saying you can train however you want, but this is my preferred method, and this is what I believe is better than a lot of other methods for injury prevention. Anyway, as long as you put that force, you exert yourself on these movements, you will see results. So what I like to do is I do a 3-day split. So I do 3 workouts, like 3 days, and then I just repeat it. And it just repeats forever. And I do 7 days a week because I have time to do that. I enjoy doing it. And with how short these workouts are, and because they're bodyweight training, you will be able to recover in a 24-hour period. That will be enough, and you will be able to continue to see results. So what I do is first workout day, I do, and now this is also 3 sets for every workout, and there's only 3 main movements. You have your pull, your push, and your leg movement. So day 1, I do 3 sets of pull-ups, and that's not to failure, it's a close proximity to failure. So with your rate of perceived exertion, your RPE of about 7 to 8. You want about 2 reps left in the tank. You want to get enough to where you're like, oh wow, I'm worked, but I can still do more. Hop off the bar. 3 sets of those, supersetted with either, my day 1 is parallel push-ups, which is essentially a deficient push-up. You are on something, I can show you guys in a little bit, whether it be blocks, cinder blocks, actual parallettes, kettlebells, and you are going past that 90-degree angle, you're getting a nice deep stretch in your pectoral muscles. That's what's gonna make your chest grow big and strong. So I do that supersetted with the pull-ups. So a set of that, rest about 2.5 minutes, and then a set of the push-ups, 2.5 minutes. By the time I'm back on the pull-ups, it's been 5 minutes since I've done pull-ups. I'm well rested and recovered, and I'm able to get, if not the same amount of reps as I did on that first set, and that's how you're gonna build muscle. Not by pushing yourself so hard that you can't breathe. That's endurance. We're not going for that. We're going for that well-rounded general fitness. And then, after all 3 sets of the pull and the push are completed, I move on to my legs. Now, I've mentioned in some comments before, my back is really messed up. So for legs, I keep it very simple for me. Now for you, whatever you want to do, anything under the sun. You can even do, if you believe that you need to do more for your legs, do more. And don't be afraid to add weight with the leg training, because legs are 90% of what you're going to be using when you're out there training. And if anything ever does happen or occur, your legs are what you're going to be predominantly using. Your Chevrolet legs, Lamborghinis, all right? Keep those legs nice and strong. But what I do is one day, I just 2 for legs. I don't have multiple, like a 3-day rotation. I do 100 lunges, that's straight, bodyweight lunges, 100 of them, I prefer walking lunges. So 100 walking lunges. Then the next day, I'm gonna do what's called a hip hinge. I'll go into that later, but I do 3 sets of that. And then when that's done, that's all you have to do. That's the workout. But I've been doing it for 2.5 years now. My recovery time is through the roof, and I am exceptionally, with myself, able to recover, and so I choose to add accessory movements. Now, what you choose for accessories is completely up to you. It does not matter, and it can be something that you feel like you're weaker on, like a pulling exercise, a pushing exercise, and it could be even more leg training if that's what you so desire. Or core. Core is very important as well, not abs, core. Some accessories that I like to do, gun show. I like to do hammer curls, just 3 sets, nothing more than 3, sometimes even 2 if I'm feeling pretty worn out from the pull-ups and the push-ups. And then another accessory movement I like to do, it's called a Lou raise. Essentially, it's a lateral raise, but instead of stopping right here, you go all the way up and touch the weights together at the top, slow and control on the way down. It's really good for your shoulders. It's gonna help with that shoulder health while you're doing lots of pulling and pushing movements. And I also have a kettlebell that I like to use, kettlebell swings, single arm kettlebell swings, overhead presses, anything that you feel like will make you stronger and you can recover from it in a 24-hour period, add it in. And I like to finish with core. For core, I like to do planks, side planks, and 6-inch holds. I don't like to do anything moving because of my back, it'll irritate it. So I like to be completely isolated with isometric movements on my core movements. So that's day 1. I'm only doing one of those accessories, not doing all of them. So day 2, I use my rings. I either go to my gym that I go to, or I use this if I don't have time to go to the gym. That's why I have a home gym set up. And I do, it's called a neutral to chin. So you're gonna start with your hands like this on the rings in a neutral grip, and then as you pull, you're twisting into that chin up at the top. I prefer those over regular chin-ups. Regular chin-ups are just fine. The reason being is on a regular chin-up, I don't like the way my wrists are turned. It is irritating to my elbows and my wrists, and I prefer doing it on the rings, that more fluid range of motion all the way up into the chin. Then I'll do dips. So on the dip bars, I have my own pair right here if I have to use these. I also have the ones at the gym that I like to use, and same thing as the day before. I'm supersetting with those ring chin-ups and the dips, supersetting 3 sets. When that's done, I get into the hip hinge. Now a hip hinge, all right, I understand, say what you will about it, my back's messed up, so this is what I have to do to hit my hamstrings, my glutes, my posterior chain. It's body weighted, you can do it weighted. I prefer to do it unweighted. What you're gonna do is stand, I'm really far from the wall, just for the example. There's gonna be a wall about this far away from your butt. Put your feet just within shoulder width apart, hands on your chest, straight back, look up, and you're just gonna bend until your butt hits the wall, like that. And that's gonna stretch your hamstrings out, your glutes, and your posterior chain. That's what I enjoy doing. If you enjoy doing glute ham raises, if you enjoy doing the back hyperextensions, all of those work the same exact movement patterns, or not necessarily movement patterns, but the same exact muscle groups. It's just a different movement pattern. So that'll be day 2. I'll finish off with an accessory. If I just did curls the day before, I'll do the Lou raises, or I'll do farmer's carries, which I'm sure we all know what those are. If not, I can go into it later. So then after that, 3rd day, I do neutral grip pull-ups. I have a neutral grip bar at the gym I go to. If I don't, I have a pair of, from this company called Kensui. They're called Swissies. Essentially, they clip on to your pull-up bar, and they just give you neutral grip bars. They're extremely stable, and they just give you the capability to do neutral grip pull-ups. I love neutral grip pull-ups because it gives you almost like a hammer curl with that grip. You are in a neutral grip. It's not going to affect your wrists if they're pronated or supinated, whatever it may be. They're neutral, and I feel like that hits my lats and my back extremely well, and it also gets a little bicep pump too from doing that. Then I go back to parallel push-ups. I change the elevation of my feet depending on the day, just however I feel. Sometimes I'll have my feet on the ground and I'll be more elevated this way. Sometimes I do more of a decline, have my feet on a box, and I'm going more down into like a decline push-up. Just depends how I'm feeling and how my recovery is feeling. Today, the workout that I completed was I did pull-ups with parallel push-ups with a decline. Then I did hip hinges, and then I finished off with hammer curls. Didn't do core today because I did core yesterday. My core was still pretty sore. But yeah, that's it. That's all you need. It's that simple. It's those 3 days, and then it repeats. And the cool thing about working out is volume doesn't have to necessarily be equated. Well, let me rephrase this. If volume is the driver of mass and, muscle output production, if that is the sole driver of it is volume, it does not matter how that volume is secured. It can be 2 days a week of 5 sets of what we just discussed. That gets you at 10 weekly sets, or it could be 5 days of 2 sets a day, and that still gives you 10 weekly sets, except you have a better time of recovery. And if you're like me and you enjoy working out, you get to work out more. You're still doing the same amount of volume, but you're working out the same amount. When you're starting off with this, if this is what you're going to do, this type of workout program, I would say start off with 3 days a week of about 4 sets. Get used to working out and getting used to it. But don't overextend yourself. And then as you progress into it, you can start doing more days with less sets. And then eventually, it'll be like me doing 7 days a week of 3 sets. So that's 21 weekly sets. The amount to build muscle is different for everybody, but what's been, I guess, with the research and the science and blah, 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 about anywhere from 8 to 20 sets is what you want to build muscle, and it can go past that. So it really just depends on you and how you react to adaptations from working out. So you could be perfect and only have to do 8 sets a week and you get the best gains, or you could be more like me and you have to do more weekly sets to get those gains. It all just depends on how you are, how your body reacts to it. Anyway, I'll show you a few of these movements. We'll talk about them, and I'll take my boss off. So you guys can, I guess, realize that I'm more than just talk. So we'll start off with some pull-ups. I'll just show you what a good form pull-up looks like. So you're not doing crazy whatever form that's not going to get you anywhere. So you're going to walk up to the bar, get underneath it, hands about shoulder width apart, maybe a little slightly out. You can wrap your thumbs if you choose to. I choose not to wrap my thumbs. I choose to keep them above, next to my hands. Anyway, we're going to come down, we're going to sink. So we're going to let our hips drop, like a deep stretch in our lats. We're going to, if our bar is not long enough to enable us to be a full dead hang, we're going to pick our legs up and we're going to cross them like this. Flare your hips and your knees out as much as you can, and then we're just going to pull chest to bar all the way deep back into that stretch. Pull chest to bar. We're keeping slow and controlled, no crazy out of control reps. Do one more. That's our pull-up. Chin-ups, similar. Neutral grips, similar. The only thing that's changing is the grip in which we grip the bar. So pull-ups are like this. Chin-ups like this. If we have access to neutral grip, we're like this. move on. We'll do some dips real quick. I'll show you what that looks like, because I, believe it or not, at the gym, when I see people doing dips, I see all kinds of crazy knot dips. So we're gonna get our bars, make sure they're wide enough, and then if you have to, move them closer together, and like, I guess, one's further out than the other, so you can get them closer, that's fine. Just make sure your hands are in a good enough position to where they are side by side. If we don't have something high enough to where our feet are dangling from the ground, like a power tower, we're just gonna do this. Same thing, pick your legs up, cross your feet, down, just past 90, all the way back up, lock it. Down, just past 90, all the way up, lock it. Down, just past 90, all the way up, lock it. I say past 90 because when you tell people go to 90, this is what you'll see a lot of the times. You'll see people doing this right here. They think they're getting at 90 degrees, but they're not. So that's our pull-ups and our dips. And I'll be honest with you, those plus whatever you choose for legs are the only movements you're gonna need. You're not gonna need anything else. Can you do them every single day? I would recommend highly against doing the same exact movement every day. That's why I change variations throughout the days, so I'm not exposing myself to unnecessary injury and risk. So if you were gonna do just one variation, I would say do it every other day. Give yourself a full day of recovery in between. Do cardio, whatever you so choose to do. So that was our pull-ups and our dips. Push-ups, I mean, self-explanatory, very similar. I don't have a lot of space to do them right now with the way I got the camera set up. So I'll go into our accessories that I mentioned. Start off with these curls. Now, do you need curls? No. Do you want curls? Yes. So we're gonna come here, straight back, elbows locked out, arms straight to our sides. We're gonna curl these weights to our shoulders, back down, slow and controlled. Shoulders, back down, slow and controlled. Shoulders, back down, slow and controlled. That's what a hammer curl looks like. Also, if you have resistance bands, anything of that nature, such as the setups I have right here, these can be used for tricep pushdowns. They can be used to help you with your pull-ups if you need to do assisted pull-ups. For our tricep pushdown, we're just gonna get it set up right here, looping it through itself, find a good place you can grip it, pull it down all the way, it's about right here. You're just gonna go down, lock your elbows out. Go down, lock your elbows out. And with these, you can do a lot more reps than you could on the actual push down machine at the gym. It's very basic movements. I showed you the hip hinge. I showed you pull-up form, dip form. I went over some accessories, hammer curls, tricep push downs, lunges. I'll hit that real quick. Feet shoulder width apart, hands on your hips, make them in the back of your head. However I choose to have my hands on the hips. You're just gonna step out. Don't really know if you can see it, but you're just gonna come back. Step down, come back. You want that leg to form a 90-degree angle at the knee. So anyway, that is our basic bodyweight training, supplemented with some accessory movements. And I believe that will definitely get you in better shape than whatever you're doing now. Now, is what you're doing now wrong? No, because if you enjoy it, guess what? Then that's what's right for you. If you enjoy what you're doing, that's all you need to do. Don't change it. Now, I will say, if what you're doing is focused on power and like bodybuilding type things, I would say implementing some calisthenics into your routine. Some of the greatest bodybuilders of all time did some calisthenic movements in their training. I know Mike Mincer did pull-ups. He enjoyed them a lot. So, and chin-ups. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. Just wanted to make it a little bit different from my last video, go into some more of my own personality and what I enjoy, working out is one of my main drivers for what got me into the community as it is. So I will say this, got some really good videos planned for you guys in the next couple weeks. We're gonna be hitting some patrolling fundamentals, getting some basic like reconnaissance with a salute report. We'll be going into a little bit of planning process for missions. So hitting a little bit into our MET-Ts, and yeah, that's pretty much it, guys, for what I got planned. Might do some classes on concealment, might do some classes on some other basic fundamentals, but today the class was on basic fundamentals of exercise. And why is it important? So you don't die. So you're an asset and not a liability, because that's what we want to be. We want to be assets, not only for ourselves and our groups, but for our families, and make sure that they are safe. And this is what's going to be the difference between life and death. Anyway, guys, I'm Bangalore Productions. Thank you very much for watching my video. Have a great day.